I will state a statement. I want you
Okay.
to comment on that statement
Okay.
through psychological
All
constant
right. All right.
context.
All
Okay.
right.
So religion has become a political tool in the modern
Yes.
society.
Yes.
This is
Yes.
what I have been thinking about lately.
Yes. Yes.
So, what will you say about it from your professional background and context?
It has always been a tool since religion came into conceptualization.
Okay, and how far back are we talking?
We're talking about Stone Age times.
From Stone Age
Yeah.
times.
So first, if
Okay.
you see the totemism. So as I said, even with a child, if you see, there is something beyond us. When we are born into the world, when the cognitive aspects start to develop, you start to think of something other than yourself. So in the first few years of life, it's just you know, like you are thinking and about yourself. But later on, what happens is you also start to think about why am I here? Okay, why am I? This world has. Oh, did the chicken come first or the egg came first? That
Right.
kind of a
Dilemma,
scenario, you
right.
know. So you start like, how come? Why have I come here? These existential questions you start.
Correct.
The only answer to it is someone, an entity that is beyond yourself that exists, who has created it. Now, in Stone Age time, they would, and in many mythologies also, that you would see that they thought that it is the thunder god, the god of fire, the god of the sun, the moon, all the elements.
Natural elements.
Yes, all
Okay.
natural elements were worshipped, if you see, because that was beyond. There was scientific discoveries were yet to be made. Then slowly, as human beings evolved, it got more complex. As they started to form agrarian societies, they started to come together. Then you see, then the totemism started to, like, small rocks,
What
small
is
whatever.
totemism?
It's a representation of worshipping a certain kind of objects.
Okay, in the considering them the form of God.
Yes, yes.
Okay, representation of
Yes,
God.
because you started skill work, right? You
Okay.
could start sculpting things. So then the idol worship also started. So, but
Okay.
it is totemism in the form of animals, in the form of spirits and things, and what that object. So from this large abstract concept, you came to an objectified aspect of it. Now, because you're coming and gathering, you have to have a hall. एक जगह तो होनी चाहिए where commonly you worship है. सबके पास है. But there has to be some common worship element.
Okay.
Then it came ki, okay, we will have a temple, we'll have a gurudwara, we'll have a mosque, we'll have in different parts of the world these concepts came in. So one place together. When monarchy started, like now there has to be a king, and how will, because the communities got bigger, right? So there has to be someone big person who will take charge and will have all the money and will go and fight, who's the mightiest, and they will go and fight and do all these things. So that is when then the politics of religion also started. Whose God would you believe? Who is better? I am better. I am the king. I believe in this, so this is happening. Then also, like this was this famous movie, the religious, like, you know, forest gods, demigods. Stories started when humans started language and communication through stories. They would tell that's imagination, right? Again, the imagination. This is where, but also from real life experiences. That is where most of our inner. So there's a theory of Panchkosha in our Indian scriptures, that the body is not just the material body. There are 5 layers to it. There is more to us than just the physical body. So that our ancestors understood way better. But once the advent of science and civilization came in, it started to diminish. Nahi. What is important is machinery, very practical, very physical things, very money and all of that.
Logical.
Yeah, very
realistic.
logical things. But that intuition, what all that was, started to lose its effect. But it still exists, it's still practiced in some communities, and people still believe in it in small ways. But that is where, and now it is so complex that religion and politics, to abhi to democracy hai, ya communism hai. It means there are, it is entrenched in it, and there are 2 ways to go about it. That there is a ritualistic aspect of religion, कि आप candle jalao ya mombatti, means or incense or anything. It is very fool chadhana, nariyal todna. All these aspects are very ritualistic. And the other part is the spiritual aspect of religion. So that and the sentiments around it also, and the fanatism that is, so that is a completely different subject as well in religion, and how much religion influences the human psyche. And because it is evolutionary, and those certain things, those elements which started, so even if you dream about clouds or you dream about a particular animal, it's like snakes. If you see Nag Panchami hoti hai, they're revered. Why are they revered? Why are they, the importance of it? So there is a lot, and then people, politicians play with these sentiments many a times, and then now it's even if you don't want to be a part of it, you don't even understand the subconscious ways it's affecting you. But yeah, so they're politicizing it in that sense.
So the playing of sentiments has been done since very long
Yeah.
time. And how will you tackle the same topic or statement which I mentioned, the political use of religion, from like अभी जब हम अपने मैंने पूछा कि कितना हम पीछे की बात कर रहे हैं, you
Yes,
stated
yes.
Stone Age, but if we go back through the times according to our scriptures, like
Yes,
Kali
yes,
Yug, Dwapar Yug,
yes.
Treta Yug,
Yes,
Satyug.
yes.
So if you trace those tracks from this side, so what will you say about that?
I won't have so much of knowledge with respect to it, but वही एक है, what I knew in Satyug is there were more just kings, like Parshuram was there, the justice and those factors, the values,
Shriram.
symptoms. And no, Shri Ram से पहले भी परशुराम जो आए थे,
हाँ, correct.
so in that
Right.
sense as well. So those were people or holders of justice and peace and things. So even in India, the Vedic system, when it did come, the caste system was there. It was not per se of any, it had a hierarchy, but it was to divide so that everyone could do work together.
Yeah,
It
I have an idea
has
of that.
nothing, yeah, it was nothing to do about
Discrimination and
yeah, there was
everything.
no discrimination.
Right,
Women
absolutely.
in Vedic times, women had a lot of power and a lot of say in many things.
Right.
But then, because of invasions, and as people world over, the history around also started, there was a lot of invasion, and we've never been a country who would, we were always welcoming even to the outsiders. Atithi Devo
True.
Bhava.
Correct.
So that somewhere really got to us in some point of time, I think. But, setting up boundaries over there. So I think that.